Welcome to another episode of Out Loud and Laughing. Get ready. It's Bryan and Jon, two gay cousins having big talks and even bigger laughs. Join us. Let's see what they're up to. It's Out Loud and Laughing.
Welcome back to Out Loud and Laughing. I'm Bryan.
I'm Jon.
And we are here to...
Are you trying to cheers?
I was trying to.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm just in my own little world over here.
So today, we were going to talk a little bit about...
Oh, gosh. This is a good one. I think you all can relate. Our dating stories. Don't we all have horrible ones? And good ones, but like horrible ones.
The funny ones.
Yeah, the funniest one, of course.
And there's likely going to be many episodes. We have so many.
Yeah, this will probably leak into other episodes as we start talking about other. But today we're going to specifically talk about our favorite ones.
Okay. Yeah.
And then maybe we can hit you with some stories where we've crossed over a few partners.
Oh, we could. Yeah. Yeah. I forgot about that one.
I mean, there's like bro code, but like we never really liked, I think, any of the ones we crossed over with. And then there's another really funny story that I think we'll get to as well. So I don't know. Let's dive in. What are you up to? I mean, you're not dating anymore. You're married.
Correct. I am married of, what is it? What year is this?
So we're in 25.
Yeah, we're at nine years married. We started dating in 2013, so we are 12 years together. But before that,
No, let's start there. How did you meet Adam?
well, so I was saying before that
Oh,
girl was messy.
Oh, girl.
Yeah,
Hey, I'm messy. We've been messy.
No, I was that girl that would date.
Tell us.
Yes, I loved I was a dating whore.
You know,
So I went on many dates all the time.
a serial monogamous.
There were some days where I would go on 3 dates.
Not a serial monogamous.
Right, correct. So I was like trying to do the whole dating pool, trying to date everyone, just to try to find the person. I fall in love with everyone because I was like, I always found like if there was one attribute that was good in that person, I'm like, well, then everything else will just fall into place.
Oh, gosh. Guilty as charged. I'm in trouble a bunch of times over the past. What's been what comes to mind first, I guess? I mean, I don't want to say favorite because I think that they all way differently.
I mean, holistically, I would always go on coffee dates more so than anything else because when you go on drinks or dinner, like if it's a bad date, you're stuck for a while. But that
Agreed.
person always might get a second drink if they're into it and you're not. So coffee's always a good date because you never get a second cup.
Or if they're just a heavy drink.
Right. Or they're just a heavy drink.
Better than drinking alone, I guess. So coffee dates. Good idea.
So lots of coffee dates. And so I dated a lot of people all the time. And then I was so tired of dating that I said, I'm done with dating. Just going to have fun.
Yeah.
I moved into my own apartment in the city in like 2013. And I was like, I'm just going to have fun. People can come over, do their thing with me, and then they leave. And I'm just going to like be single.
Now, were you on the dating apps? I mean, I'm on
All
the
of
dating
them.
apps. You were on the dating apps.
Yeah. This is back in 2013. So like there wasn't a lot of internet, but we would send pigeon letters to each other.
I actually went to OG instead of like original Grindr.
Right.
If you were like graduating class of 2013.
Yeah. Pigeons would carry around dick pics, Polaroid,
Could
and
you
drop them off at an apartment.
It's literally raining men.
Yeah. Literally. At least parts of them.
Could you imagine a courier pigeon being the success story to your relationship? Probably better off than what some of the dating apps can do today.
Probably a lot of people have that story. They're probably underground now, but
I was going to say that's true. Yeah. So the dating apps, in my opinion, and I don't know if this is your experience as well, the dating apps are a nightmare.
Yeah.
Absolute nightmare. I've come to the reckoning, because it's been a reckoning. In my 40s, I'm still dating. I'm not married.
right.
I'm single. I'm not divorced, but I was engaged and that didn't work.
Yeah.
So back on the apps at 40,
Yeah.
and having learned a few lessons, very different, but we're not going down that path. We're definitely staying on track with the embarrassing stories, but it has changed.
Yes, it has changed.
Yeah, it's gotten very crowded.
Yeah.
And the distinctions have gotten very much so in a box, and it's been hard to sort of date. And I don't know if that's the reason why I've also like had like not good luck dating in the
Mhm.
past, specifically, going on dates where I similarly would also see attributes in somebody that I liked, and I'm like, yeah, we can make this work.
Right.
And it just never works.
Yeah.
And they turn into horrible, great stories later on.
And they used to do a podcast about it.
And then you just finish your podcast about it. Very healing.
Very therapeutic.
Very therapeutic.
I can start light. I went on one day once with someone. I must have met that person on an app.
Where were you at the time?
I was in New York City.
New York, okay.
So we went to a very nice seafood restaurant down in the West Village. It might still be there. But we went on this date. Good conversation, I guess, in that, like, it was flowing. Like, there wasn't really awkward silence. But it was a lot of, like, the other person leaned in a lot to, like, be like, oh, well, when we do this and when we do, like, very much planning, like, as if we were married.
Oh, God.
Talking about his family a lot and how when I meet them. And, like, all that was a lot for our first date. And so dinner was fine. But after that, we were walking or we were leaving the restaurant. I was like, well, I'm going this way. He's like, well, I'll walk you that way too. And I was like trying to escape.
Oh, no.
We were like, well, no, you has to go that way. So I'll go this way.
You don't know what next thing to say because they're just going to say the same thing. I got to fly away. There's a pigeon on the way to
I got a pigeon dropping off a photo of my house.
Yeah. It's like an Uber pigeon.
Right. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go that way. He's like, well, I'll walk with you. And I was like, okay, I'm going to the subway, but you can walk with me to the subway. Fine. And so then we're walking and he's still talking and I'm just kind of like, okay, cool. This is like 2 more minutes of my life and I can move on and never talk to this person again because it was just too much at once.
Yeah.
And so then right when we get to the subway, he grabs me and like forces a kiss on me.
Oh, no.
Like a full on kiss.
Tongue?
Yeah, all of it. And
Rosy.
And I was just like, oh, okay.
Pretty presumptuous.
Pretty presumptuous. But the way he ended it was with a bang where he grabbed my hand, he put it down on his crotch and said, see what you do to me?
Okay.
Okay.
And nothing was happening to you.
Nothing was happening to me.
Yeah.
Plenty was happening to him.
Oh, my goodness.
And I left and I said, okay, cool.
So he had a swap.
So his name's Adam and I married him.
I take my dick. I take my dick back.
You tell one.
Yeah, that's so annoying. I've had something similar happen to me where the date just wasn't like going well, or the opposite. And I'll share the story from the other perspective where I was the person who thought things were going well.
Oh.
And so, I was in San Francisco at the time. And dating in a big city is always just it's a catch-22. But
it is.
I was on a date with a gentleman, really handsome. We were at a wine bar. We were enjoying a glass of wine and the conversation was going great.
According to you.
Actually, it did go great. And I'll tell you why it didn't work out at the end.
Yeah.
So at this point, I thought that we were like sold, right? Great match. It was like kismet and the stars had aligned, right? So the night ends. I did not follow him home.
Okay.
But he did wait outside with me for the Uber, which I actually thought was nice. And probably one of the reasons why I thought that he liked me, because would you wait? Clearly you wanted to escape your date.
So you took the signal of him being a gentleman that he was into you.
Yes.
Got you. Okay.
And who wouldn't?
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
But politeness and being a gentleman doesn't mean that they're into you.
I did not kiss him and I did not, there was no crotch grabbing.
Okay.
However.
In this story.
No, exactly. In this story. Yeah. There will be more crotch grabbing. I promise.
It's your MO.
That's probably why I'm single. Too much crotch grabbing. No, but to wrap this one up, when I was in my Uber on the way home, I sent him a text message saying, it was really nice to meet you. I look forward to seeing you again and let me know when you're free.
Blah.
Never replied. Ghosted.
Did you follow up again?
No. I just got back home.
I envisioned like, had a really good time. The next day didn't respond. Really good time. When should we hang out again? Didn't respond. I'm going to be here today having coffee if you want to hang out.
Really, 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 really good time if you want to hang out.
A week later. So I have a wedding coming up if you're interested.
So my mom wants to meet you.
So I booked you a ticket. I'll be at the airport.
I told her all about that thing we talked about 36 days ago.
But nothing about you is crazy in that story.
No. Of course not. No. I have very healthy attachment issues. Oh gosh. I mean, and then they, the pendulum swings.
The pendulum always swings.
Let's get, and not only the pendulum. Tell me about a time that it ended in like, we go hook up, and then it didn't.
Are you trying to set me up for a story?
I'm trying to set you up for a story. I want to know.
Which story?
The one that I don't know. You can
my best story ever.
Your best story ever.
Well, not my best story ever, but it's a really good story.
That's not the best story ever, bro.
Well, our shared one's really good too.
Oh, we'll get to that one at the end for sure.
So I lived in New York City. I still live outside New York City. Like, I'm still in New York City.
We're still in New York.
I'm just old and now I have
the burbs.
So it was Sunday.
Not this past Sunday.
It was not the past Sunday.
So it was
a Sunday. Maybe let's call it 2011.
How was the weather?
Yeah, actually it was summer, so it was sunny. Yeah.
That I asked.
Yeah. So I loved going to the gym in New York, especially on the weekends. It was quiet. The steam room was also very appealing. There was always people that would attend to you.
I understand.
Right?
Yeah. The same way in New Jersey where they pump your gas, there was people pumping you in the...
Like for like?
Yep.
That was Sunday. So Sunday morning, I went to the gym, normal workout. I went to the steam room, a little here, a little there, nothing crazy.
Sure.
It was practically like shaking it.
Oh, but that's the gay handshake.
Right?
Yeah.
Gay handshake. And that was it. But after that, I was walking home. So that was like my first hookup. And that was just one hookup of the day. And so I was texting with my friend to say, when are we going to brunch? And she was like, oh, we can go in a little bit. I'm finishing up with this guy that I was hooking up with all night. Sounds good. So she left his apartment. Luckily and weirdly, it was 2 doors down from my apartment. Picked me up, went to brunch. And it was one of those brunches in New York. If anyone's gone to New York, like it's the unlimited like champagne and it's just gets messy.
So we're brunching and we're messy. So you must
we're brunching.
You must be in your 20s about?
Yeah, probably mid-20s.
Okay.
The courier pigeons were no more.
They have blown away.
And so basically we're at brunch, we're doing our thing. And then she's getting a little tipsy. She's like, I want to go back to that guy. And we had plans for the rest of the day, but I was like, okay, that sounds good. So then what am I going to do? Like,
open the phone.
Give me something to do.
Fair enough.
So I got on my phone and I was like, cool, I'll just get on Grindr and I'll find someone to like meet up with for a little bit while you're right. Exactly. So this one person was like, oh, I'm going to the gym in a little bit, but you're welcome to stop by. I was like, cool. Yeah, sounds great. I was like, it was really like a low bar at that point. I was like, anyone just responded and like was available.
Sure.
And within like a walking radius.
Always distance.
Like, well, yeah. And so
we're not crossing a bridge or going under a tunnel.
Correct.
Yeah.
It was literally like 3 streets away.
Exactly.
So basically she went to her place, actually near my place. And then I went to this person's apartment and I meet him out downstairs. Mind you, I was not in any state of mind.
You had also been at brunch.
I was brunching.
Yeah.
Then he shows up. He was finishing walking his dog. And he's like, oh, yeah, let's go upstairs to my apartment. And I was like, well, yeah, that's why I'm here. I wasn't here to like hang out with you and your dog. You, not your dog.
Yeah. To be clear.
Maybe your dog.
Maybe more your dog than you.
So whatever. So the dog, we go upstairs, whatever. We're in his bathroom. And he's like, oh, I need to make a shower before I go to the gym. And I was like, that's interesting because usually shower after the gym, but I was like totally in. Okay, fine, let's do it.
I like that he didn't lie and say that he got back from the gym and he needed to shower.
Correct.
I like the honesty.
Yeah, point. It was honesty.
Okay.
It builds trust.
So you jumped in the shower before the gym with him?
Yes. So I took off my clothes in the bathroom, got in the shower. It was actually fairly innocent. It wasn't like the most craziest of hookups, but again, I was like completely out of it. So maybe in hindsight, maybe it was more crazy than I thought. I just don't remember.
Well, they're crazy dating stories, not crazy hookup stories.
Not pregnant.
Not pregnant.
So I hook it up, turn off the shower. We realized that the shower curtain was on the outside of the bathtub.
That's fantastic.
Which means
what else was on the outside of the? Oh, I see.
My clothes. So now the floor of the bathroom is soaked with water, and my clothes are swimming in.
Fantastic.
So luckily, I found someone on Grindr that was of money because his apartment had a washer dryer in it, which is not normal in New York. But thank God,
very lucky.
So he was like, "Well, I could just throw your stuff in the dryer." And okay, that's cool. I'll just sit on the couch for a little bit while we wait.
Without clothes.
Yeah, I think underwear on.
Okay.
Somehow my underwear was dry.
Or he gave you a towel.
Maybe I was wearing a towel.
Yeah.
Maybe that. So anyways, the couch. Let's just say I'm in a towel on the couch and the dog's sitting next to me. And I was like starting to pet the dog or trying to like work my way close to pet the dog. He's like, just be careful. My dog is like a little temperamental. And I was like, well, no, dogs love me. Dogs are absolutely a fan of me. I am an animal person. And he was like, yeah, just be careful. And I started petting the dog. Again, I'm not of sound mind. Petting the dog, and all of a sudden this dog, which is like probably like a little Chihuahua type dog, lunges at my face.
Oh, God.
Bites my lip.
Oh, God.
And now my lip is bleeding.
Oh, God.
So I'm sitting on a couch in my towel, my lip is bleeding.
Okay.
The guy grabs the dog, takes the dog away, and my clothes are still in the dryer.
And you have blood just coming from your face.
Blood's coming out of my face, dripping. He gets me a paper towel.
I'm trying to envision this, and like, I'm already getting heart palpitations.
Yeah. I mean, and then I found really good attributes about me to wash a dryer. So you know me, I fell in love.
Yeah, you were
Like,
sold.
dog bit me, but you have a washer
You have
dryer.
like blood coming from your lip, and like, you know,
I know. Exactly. So essentially, I was like, you know what? They got with the lip. The blood doesn't bleed too long.
No.
Enough where I was like, I think I'm good. I was like, I'll take my clothes and go. He's like, well, your clothes aren't completely dry yet. I'm like, damn, it's fine. Damn, I'll put them on.
Thank God it was summer, not winter.
Yeah, it's true. Like frozen.
Yeah,
Oh my God, that would have been. So I put my clothes on. Definitely like a couple drops coming from my shirt still, but whatever, fine. My friend texts me. She goes, I'm done. And I was like, me too.
Yeah.
She's like, well, meet me at the corner. Let's get a slice or two of pizza before we go back to your apartment. I was like, yeah, actually, that sounds amazing. From her perspective, she says, when I saw you, Bryan, walking down the street towards me, your hair was dripping wet, your clothes were dripping, and your lips were like, as if you gotten like, they just pumped up from a surgery.
Oh, gosh, I'm dead.
So it was
You were almost too.
almost dead. So then we have our pizza, we go back to my apartment. We're doing a lot of like weed and alcohol still. And we were like, there's a party that night. So we go to another party.
Your brunch, stoned, and drunk.
Yes. And then we go to this party on the Upper West Side, I remember. Because I remember we were stuck in traffic through Times Square getting to that party. But we were so like, again, out of it.
Yeah.
And there's a person there that I had been hooking up with, saw him there. There was a person walking around with like weed cookies, which kind of ahead of its time because it was a wheat brownie.
Such a pioneer.
You know? And so
The Lord's work.
we were like, we'll buy them all. So I think we each had 2 cookies.
And did you know how strong they were? Not at the time.
Just
No.
bought cookies
Okay.
with cash. It just bought the cookie.
I can't wait to see where
Again, this vessel at that time was like 25.
I also want to remind everybody, if I'm following the story correctly, this is all the same day.
All the same day.
This is great.
We are still on Sunday.
I love it.
And then, yeah, we ate our cookies and I just started making out and hooking up with that other guy. And so the most memorable part of this was that was 3 people in one day.
I wasn't keeping count.
Either was I on that Sunday.
I'm going to tally a banana up in this.
Yeah. But with that said, I've learned a lot about me being an animal lover. I do love showers.
And how fast my lip heals.
Yeah. I have a really good immune system. I'm really good at brunching. Yeah. All 3 of those people, none of them worked out.
None of them worked out. And you never saw them again, except probably the one that you were frequent.
I think I'm still friends with that frequent person on Facebook.
Fair enough. Okay, well, now you can see you're married with children.
Yeah. But I mean, again, what was interesting about it was Sunday. That's a full day.
That's a day.
That should have been a Saturday. And then Sunday for
show up for
recovery.
work.
Yeah, you just wake up, you just have some juice, a bagel.
25 again.
No.
25 again. Oh.
So
which one comes to mind for me? Because you jogged my memory. It was all about your New York experience when I was visiting you one time, and I spent years.
Yep, tell that one.
And I was also on the grind. There was a gentleman who was actually quite attractive.
Okay.
And he was maybe like 0 feet away. And I'm like, oh, this is convenient.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm going. It was one of the first times that I'd been to New York about. I actually remember it was right after Hurricane Sandy. What year was that?
When we lost like power.
Yeah, it was my birthday. What year was that? Oh gosh. Hurricane Sandy, look it up. It was that year.
2014.
We'll just call it 2014. I doubt it was then. Maybe it was. But anyhow, I'm like, now I'm curious. I'm like, okay, good looking dude, 0 feet away.
And also the 0 feet away thing, and I learned this, not recently. I knew this from the back of my day, because I want to clarify.
Educate me.
Is 0 feet away is always horizontal, not vertical. So when I lived in high rise, 0 feet away could mean they're a floor above you.
But a lot of this living now in a high rise.
So it doesn't work vertically, it only works horizontally.
Huh. Interesting to know.
You know, it'd be nice if it said like 0 feet away, but 3 floors above you.
It should say 0 feet away, top. 0 feet away, bottom. And if you're on the elevator, 0 feet away, first. Thankfully, he was literally right next door. Like, open your
next
door.
door to my apartment.
Next door to your apartment.
Okay.
So literally open your door, walk out, knock on the door next to yours.
No, whatever I was.
You were at work. And I know, and this is why I know, because it actually brings out some of the details of the story.
Oh, right. Okay.
So walk over to his house, and I thought it would be sexy because he was just right next door if I showed up in a towel.
Right.
Bryan had his keys, so I deadbolted his apartment.
Yes.
And I thought to myself that in the what usually averages about 20, 30 minutes, on a good, like it would be safe to deadbolt your apartment. I think you had warned me about not doing that, but I didn't want you to know my business. So I wasn't trying to share with you that I was going to your neighbor's house to hook up
the door unlocked.
I didn't know that, but there was a deadbolt. Anyway, either way, what happened was the building super was going around, noticed your door unlocked, I guess poked his head and saw nobody, and then locked it. So now,
and you're only in a towel.
I'm in a towel.
Well, actually, you're not in a towel right now.
Well,
there's a towel on the floor.
While that was happening, unbeknownst to me, there was a lot going on, and there was no towels involved.
Right.
But
fun fact, that building was the reason why the tenant was walking around, because it wasn't a very big building. There was a lot of apartments. So we took care of like 5 apartments, 6 apartments, and you were playing with fire there.
Really gambling.
I forget what happened though, because I don't remember the rest of the story.
You came to I had to text you and let you know what happened. So Cat was out of the bag.
Wow.
And then you came to my
dog without a towel.
Well, that's generous. It's more like a gerbil, but sure. No, I'm just kidding.
Baby little thongs.
No, that you had come to rescue me. I had to text you and let you know what happened.
Yeah.
The gentleman was so kind to lend me a pair of shorts, but mind you, I was about 4 sizes bigger than him. So these shorts literally looked like a sausage trying to get out of its casing.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a look.
It was a look. It was a look. But you had to come save me, and I was embarrassed.
I had to save you. My keys had to save you.
Listen, though, I'll tell you, that was a good one. It was
a
great hookup.
So worth it.
He was a doctor.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so he knew all the spots.
So definitely worth it.
Yeah, but not dating.
Yeah, but no pun intended.
Well, there was no.
He knew all the spots.
He knew all the spots. We have some. I mean, that's funny because that like puts us in proximity of each other. But we actually have stories where we have been together and this has happened.
Yeah, we'll tell our last story for this one because I think this one's interesting because this one's a shared experience.
Yeah.
So I used to travel a lot to San Francisco for work.
The whoring continues.
The whoring continues. Whore it on.
Yeah.
I was visiting San Francisco. John and I ventured out many places all the time.
I was living there at the time, if you didn't follow, and Bryan was saying with me, we've done this a lot in our life.
Yeah, I think it was almost St. Patty's weekend. I remember we went to, I believe it was Overlook?
Lookout.
And some people were so wasted that they walked into a glass door.
And shattered.
It shattered.
Like into a trillion pieces.
Yeah. And I don't remember it being like, somehow, and again, we were drinking, but I don't remember it being like a big deal. People just kept drinking and hanging out.
It's San Francisco.
It was like that door, like yesterday.
Like a Tuesday, probably.
Oh my goodness. So that was crazy. But then I know we went back, like napped, and then we went out to dinner.
It was raining.
Yeah.
So we like stayed indoors for the majority of the time.
And we went out to dinner. And this dinner restaurant we went to, which was in the Castro.
It was right under the Lookout, actually.
Yeah, the tables weren't very far from each other. So you and I are a table for 2, and we're kind of sandwiched between other tables of 2. And we quickly learned or eavesdropped, because I guess we were bored with each other.
We observed.
And that there was a date happening next to us, 2 gentlemen. And based on the sounds that we were hearing, it was their first date.
You knew it was or a first meeting of sorts.
Yeah, like they met on Grindr. They were meeting for the first time, and they were like having a good time. John and I were, again, drinking and hanging out, and we started talking to them.
Yeah. Well, I think the line that either you or I said.
Yeah.
Because I know that we talked about it, you and I at the table, and like they're definitely on their first Grindr date.
Yeah.
And I think I asked them straight up. I was like, "Are you guys on your first Grindr date?"
And then they confirmed. They must have.
They did. And then it was one of those, bringing it back to sort of the beginning here, it was one of those dates where I think that neither of them were feeling it. Because why would they have engaged?
True.
So like they were both trying to maybe escape themselves, like each other.
Yeah.
In doing so, we sort of like dragged our tables together, and I don't know that they even knew our relationship yet, that we were just family and that they were on a date.
Yeah.
So perhaps they thought it was a double date. And so I remember we pulled our tables together and we went out, and then we went out together that night and danced the night away and had more drinks. I think we had more drinks.
I don't remember after dinner.
Oh, did we just? Yeah, I know. Do you remember what we were drinking?
No.
We were drinking hot toddies at this place. I remember they were in those
because it was raining and
cold.
Yeah. I just thought we were a good time, so they wanted to talk to us.
I mean, they saw through that too as well, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I guess whatever we did after, we said, "Do you want to come back to our place?"
Yes.
Right. And John and I are not into foursomes, but we just clarify.
Because we're boys.
Because we're boys. And,
not family. No, actually, for the record, no, there's never been cross-pollination that way.
But we brought them back, and John, I think we were like texting on our phone, venture home and stuff, and
We're
I was
always
like,
connected.
and I was just like, yeah. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? So I was texting saying like, oh, I like this one. I think I remember, I was claiming one of them.
We agreed to the claim. We each claimed one of the two gentlemen.
I think you were a gentleman in that where I claimed the better one, and you were like, I'll just take this one.
Yeah, I'll take pencil dick.
Right.
Sure. Yeah.
So I remember we got back to their place, and I basically went to my room with the one that I picked, and John went to the room with the second one.
Pencil
dick.
dick.
You didn't pick them.
We'll just call him pencil dick.
And so they slept over.
They literally slept over. We did our thing that night, 2 different bedrooms.
Separately.
I think that needs to be noted. I want to comment. I don't want anybody to sort of like, whatever. There could be worse things. But no, we woke up the next morning and Bryan and I still being connected by our phone.
I texted you.
You did text me.
And I said like, I think it was like 7:38, and I was like, okay, they're very comfortable here. I think it's time for them to go.
Wow. So knowing, you guys know firsthand that we have experience of getting rid of people or not.
Or not.
But this time we were actually successful.
Correct.
Showed them out together.
Walked them downstairs. They were walking out together. And mind you, they started a date the night before together. And now they're leaving this apartment in San Francisco at 8 a.m., doing the walk of shame, not with each other.
Doing the walk of shame. Yeah.
Together, but after hooking up with different people.
Yeah. I wonder what that conversation was like.
They should start a podcast.
Be a pigeon on the wall.
So I'll let you finish because you did it.
Oh, I so did it. I don't know where it came from, but it totally dawned on me. I was like, well, this is the first. As I slammed the door behind them, I was like, well, good luck on your second date.
Yes. You were like, good luck on your second date. And you wait, and they like looked at us in like shock, and like we slammed the door, never to see them again.
Oh, no, that's a lie. I saw my guy like 3 months later on my block at the Walgreens. We sort of like gave each other eyes. Didn't say.
Oh, you didn't say anything to him?
No.
Oh,
I know. So there was really no chemistry.
Well,
Even the universe was like, I'm going to make them bump into each other again. And no love there. So as you can tell,
with many stories,
that's just scratching the surface, but we really can't take you down the entire chronological one.
No, we will. Just not in this episode.
Yeah, no, but we enjoy sharing them with you. We hope you had a good chuckle. I bet you've got some great stories. So make sure to share them.
Comment below.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for coming.
Chat soon.